Hey everyone, this is George Soto and you're watching Startups Unedited.
Hey everyone, this is George Soto and you're watching Startups Unedited Tech News. Today I'm joined with Arturo Duran, who is one of the innovators in the internet. You've worked at AOL, you've worked at some of the top companies around the world. You're currently a managing partner at IVA Ventures, which does a ton of different advising for startups, M&As. Arturo, how are you?
I'm doing very good, Jorge. Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's really funny because we met when I was in New York working for a startup, and you were, CEO over at Impremedia for all their digital. And I just remember you giving us a chance. So, I don't know if I've thanked you enough for that. You were very key to my quota that year.
Well, it was not actually, you were very good at selling me, but it worked beautiful. And I think that that's the way the world works. Okay. We all have to talk to each other all the time because we don't know what is happening 100% of it.
Absolutely. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about your background? What are you up to now in terms of your advisory work with startups? What are some of the things that you're seeing that are exciting you?
Well, remember that after living in Premedia, after a stint in China and Canada, we created Impremedia, the largest newspaper chain in Spanish in the US. And then my partner and I, John Payton, we actually decided that it was time to do digital first media. That is, transformation is not just about saying it, but you actually have to execute it. So news creation had to be transformed. So we created the second largest newspaper chain in the US, digital first media. And then we decided it's time to go and give back and start working with the startups directly where the new way of doing things is going to come. So this is what we have been doing. I moved out of New York, as you know, and as well as you, and moved myself to Silicon Valley, where I enjoy it. I love it. I live in the core of San Francisco, just by the ocean, and I love it.
Well, I love your home. What do you think about the recent Twilio IPO? I mean, it was a fantastic day for those folks. As you know, we used to share the same office when I was at MoPub early day. Our second office was within the same building as Twilio. So wow. Jeff and those folks are doing well today. What's your actual take on?
Listen, this is like, there was a lot of betting around if they were going to do it, if they were going to, how is it going to perform, etc. You have to remember, this is probably the third IPO in this year that has been the worst for IPO since 2009. And I'm so glad because the way they did means that they prepared themselves. The back end was perfectly well oiled and prepared. They did their homework. They were able to create value for the company. Disregard the markets. Hey, listen, the markets tank. Like, people will tell you, this was like the worst day to be doing an IPO. If you have asked somebody, okay, they will have, this is the worst day. And they actually went there. They created a little hackathon to create some IPO directly on the floor of the Wall Street. It was like actually a lot of fun. And I think that what it shows that is that if you do your homework, if you surround yourself with the right people, it doesn't matter. There are things you cannot control. Nobody could control the vote in England. Not even Trump, who was actually there while this was happening.
Wow, unbelievable. Wasn't that unbelievable? What's your take on that? So for the folks out there who are watching, the UK officially left the European Union. Their prime minister left as well, or resigned. I think that it was the best decision. I certainly don't have enough information to provide an opinion.
I just think that, listen, for our world, okay, I'm going to talk about the digital world. Just think, this is going to be very tough. We actually, and I mean all the digital companies, the large ones, the small ones, I've seen people moving out of Amsterdam into London because that's the center of Europe in terms of doing your startup work, etc. But it's like suddenly you're going to be severe on relationships with the natural market for the UK startup or for the UK digital. Everybody has their European offices in London or outside London, Ireland, Scotland. Okay, so it's like very, very unique. If you look at it, what is going to happen?
Now, the thing that I think about is, haven't we seen this coming, Arturo? Like, they didn't even implement the euro as their currency.
Well, yes. Well, a lot of people thought that eventually there would be a very nasty divorce, okay, because there was no commitment, and that was the euro, okay, versus the pound was like something seen as a lot of people as not 100% committed to the relationship. But on the other hand, I think that it's gonna go against the UK more than Europe. You saw several of the European leaders saying, no, you're not going to live in 2 years or in a couple of years. You're going to live tomorrow.
I mean, they're upset, right?
It's becoming very emotional. Right? It's becoming very emotional. But also, from the other hand, we have a lot of companies that have big operations in the island of Man, in Guernsey. What is going to happen to those? And the last one is, remember that Russia, it's out there, and somebody is gonna have to take that void that the UK is gonna leave there. And I think that you're gonna see a lot of the Russian or Ukrainian or other ones states taking a big lead in the digital world. Maybe the financial markets are not going to change that much initially, but the other piece is our world is going to change, definitely.
Well, let's talk about the future and how things will change in digital. What's your take if you had a second to kind of envision what the future of media consumption? You've been in media for such a long time, and as I mentioned earlier, has really helped innovate in media in multiple ways. Is it VR? Is it 3D? You're seeing Facebook Live in Facebook, kind of like three-dimensional functionality. Is that what we're going to be consuming? Are we going to have headsets on?
Well, let's go back to some of my background. So when I was at Polaroid Corporation, and I was the first lead of digital, okay, on a commercial way, not the industrial, because you have to understand that digital in the biotechnical market, in hospitals, etc., existed a long time ago. But in the consumer side, people used to say, "Oh, it's never going to happen." Okay, I believe that today, the merge between 360 and the understanding of the end user and thinking that that's virtual reality because I can take my phone and use the capability of knowing movement, and I can do up and down, left or right. And that allows me to change the view from the rest of the world. I can just move half a grade versus you move 2 grades, and our view will be different. Okay, so then suddenly we're creating. Now, the next generation has to do with using the capabilities of the devices to understand movement in front of them and bring the outside reality, because remember, you have a camera there. So what if I could see the news, but not just the news in a way that somebody took it, but the news reflected with the real world at a given moment? That's going to be the media consumption.
So like live, Snapchat, that kind of thing.
It's going to be, so what if I could immerse myself into that live unit and then really start looking into how do you're looking live at something that is happening right now in Turkey, okay, because it's the Pride parade was stopped, okay, and then you see the demonstrations, but then you have with your hand, you can actually bring data and put it next to that, so start telling you this person is this person and this person is that. And then you start tapping, because your phone, you don't even have to go to the very expensive devices. Your phone has a camera that looks to the front, that can act in terms of that. Get the data in front of you while you're watching live.
That's amazing.
I think that's where we're going to see more and more participation of the user with the content. And the content is going to follow the user. And it's
Awesome.
happening more and more and more. If you look at VidCon, is happening this weekend. Okay, it started yesterday in LA, and as we see that, you see how media and consumption is going to go further. Let's see what comes out of VidCon.
Oh, we have to check that out. Maybe we can head down to Los Angeles, you and I.
Hey, let's do that.
Arturo Duran, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you for all your mentorship and advisorship that you provided and also advising us here at Soto Ventures Media. If we wanted to follow you on Twitter or social media in general, what are the best usernames or handles?
I use the same handler on everything. It's Duran ACA. So that's my email, that is my Twitter, that is my Facebook, that is my Instagram, that is my WeChat. Everything is Duran ACA. That is Duran Arturo, California. So Duran ACA.
And one last thing real quick, you're also doing investments in media-centric startups and really facilitating those sort of introductions as well, if maybe it's an investment that's not part of your investment thesis. Can people just reach out to you also via Twitter?
I love to actually help people. I do that all the time. You know that. So yes, please reach to me.
Absolutely. Well, have a great day.
Thank you.